Welcome to Trek Trav. I'm Trav. This is Come Lit's Away, episode 6 of Starfleet Academy. I'm not going to be doing a recap of the episode. I'm just going to be talking about the episode in general, mainly because this episode is late and I've already got to do the review for the next episode. This episode, for me, opens up very sexily. Tarima and Caleb are having some bonky bonk time. Then they go into her mind, and then she sort of invades Caleb's mind, and she doesn't mean to. And obviously, this sounds like I'm recapping, but it's a moment where like the outward sexiness of this scene really, there's a lot of birds outside. Outwardly was like, whoa, this is pretty raunchy. But then I remember Star Trek Nemesis, where Deanna Troi was horribly mind raped in a horrible scene. And I go, okay, this is okay. This is two people who love each other. Obviously, there's some awkwardness. Caleb doesn't want to share that thought. Tarima learns everything about his mother. We get it. It's a good scene. I like the flowers, although I'm pretty sure they just used the flowers from the last episodes of Discovery. But otherwise, it's okay. We have a few really good plot points. News Barker is back. The cadets are on sort of a training mission divided onto the bridge and onto a derelict ship, of which is attacked or commandeered by Furies, which are these weird time-face people. I don't do much of the time stuff, but the Furies have been mentioned apparently in beta canon, but I haven't read any beta canon with them. And they're formidable. They're sort of space piratey, and in order to save them, they know that News Barker and his group have developed a weapon that got them to go away. So their last choice for saving these cadets from these cannibals, the Furies are cannibals, is helping him. So what we get is a lot of dialogue between Paul Giamatti and Holly Hunter, talking about her son and talking about how he died and the fact she sacrificed her son to save her ship. Which is a genuinely dark and sort of interesting character exploration of her. And he talks about how Caleb's now like she's going to do the opposite to him. And it's really good. Like, their acting ability is completely on show here. It's really enjoyable. Seeing when they initially sort of take their positions, they're all excited about it. And Caleb uses programmable matter. There's I think a lieutenant who is guiding them on the ships, and he's quite cool as well. Dies and gets eaten. Well, his leg does at least. So there's a lot of really cool aspects of this episode. This episode is one of those episodes that's very talky, and it's one of those. And a lot of complaints about Starfleet Academy have been that it doesn't have a lot of stakes. There isn't a huge amount of stakes, and this one's big stakes. It's the cadets will get eaten and dead, and the Furies are interesting. Them being stuck on the bridge, which I'm sorry to say was just the Strange New Worlds bridge, and they replaced the chairs. But I don't mind reusing sets. They cover it up enough so you don't notice. I don't know who covered it up considering the entire crew died. There's mentions of comic books and there's a whole story. The computer doesn't recognize that there's a new crew. We get a death in this episode of the Vulcan guy who is, apparently people think his name's Bobby. But anyway, he dies. We get Sam is injured by the Furies. We get a budding relationship with Jaden and Kyle. Tarima contacts Caleb with her mind and ends up sort of solving the episode's problems. There's a lot going on in this episode. It's an exciting adventure with these cadets. Having Genesis and Graham, I've forgotten his fucking name now. But yeah, having them on the Raya, Demar. Having the cadets on the ship and having them do and solve problems is also very, very interesting. I don't know why Girl Who Ate Her Communicator is still there. Laura Thocker's in it. It's a fun adventure. It's quite dark in parts. There is some head exploding of the Furies. What I will say is this is what I would like to call your bulk standard Starfleet Academy. It's doing an ongoing plot. So Noose Brucker was in the first episode. He's talked about a lot. Kayla's mother is a running plot line. This is sort of catching up with the villain, which is great because Paul Giamatti literally chews every scene he's in. He plays maniacally evil really, really well. Holly Hunter is one of those actresses who she can play both. She can play funny and quirky, and she can also play quiet and solemn behind her eyes. And that's what I really like about her. I think also in this episode you see her being a captain and being that sort of Starfleet thing, and using Noose Brucker, who ultimately, and you see it coming, betrays them at the end. Like in the beginning, as soon as they brought Noose in, I'm going, he's going to end up working with the Furies. And that's what happened. And they end up stealing a weapon from this experimental weapons lab. Starfleet really needs to get rid of those because they never end up well. They're sort of that real, like Holly Hunter's Arche is literally like, we should have seen it coming. And it's like, how did you not see it coming? I saw it coming and I'm not even in the show. I don't know how to put it. I really enjoyed the episode, but it's very standard. Like it's not any of the Star Trek series could do this episode. The difference being is that the lesson of this episode on a level is death of a crew member or a fellow teammate, and injury of another one. And the doctor sort of trying to work on Sam and sending her to get fixed. And Bob, the Vulcan War Academy dying, and Tarima being injured because she uses her mind control to literally explode the heads of the Fury. And we see that in pretty graphic detail. And she saves the day. And so there's a lot of loss in this episode, which I imagine will be sort of dealt with next episode. So there's a lot of impact and a lot of emotional weight in this episode, which is what saves it, I think, for me. Is that although it's like a stock standard Star Trek episode, there's a lot of emotional weight put between Arche and Noose Brucker. There's a lot of emotional weight between Trina and Caleb and Sam and Jaden and Kyle get their little sort of emotional reaction. We got a good enemy. Like there's a lot to play with and a lot to sort of build later in the season. And I didn't review this straight away because I watched the episode twice because I didn't actually remember what the episode was about, and I'd already watched it once. So when I went back in and watched it twice, I was like, oh, I get it, because to me there was nothing uniquely Starfleet Academy. It did feel a little bit like action Star Trek, which is a good kind of Star Trek. It's just like it was nothing that I sort of sat with me. A lot of people think this is a great episode. It's amazing, and it is just for Noose Brucker and Arche's interactions, and it is for the weight and its implications on the characters. And I think that's where this episode will, as a high impact episode, but the impact won't be seen until later episodes, which is also important in a Star Trek show. Whether you like Starfleet Academy or not. Now, do I sort of think that this episode could have been better? Not really, because it does what it's on the label. It's an action episode with some character beats that affect the whole season. And yeah, it's a good episode. It's not my favorite episode of the season, but it's certainly a good episode. There hasn't been an episode of this series, I think, barring the first episode, which felt like it was just set up and it was a bit dull. And I didn't hate it. Like, I liked it. But this is the first. Every episode has been sort of building and getting better, and there's always a little lesson and a little bit of things that they learn. And I think that the characters are maturing nicely, and I think that it's important that every one of these characters sort of have their growth moment. I think this is one of those pivotal growth moments where we will see things change. And that's what I like about this episode. I think it, as I said, it feels like a stock standard episode, but it is high stakes and has high implications for our characters, which is important in any TV show. What did you think about Come Let's Away? It's a horrible title. And don't complain about the gratuitous sex scene at the beginning. They're teenagers or early 20s. They're having sex. Oh no! But yeah, tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. I know this video won't get much views because I am so late with it. But join me on Thursday for the next episode of Starfleet Academy.